All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto you. How about Shema, Shabbat, Shem, Kakwadash, the bunch of the apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, you see this. There's a brother that posted this. Vlaadimir Putin warns of nuclear war if Ukraine joins NATO. You know, this is part of the prophecy, Ezekiel 38th chapter. I'm going to go into that. You know, the Lord is actually putting, which Russia's always been with the bullshit, so to speak, but the Lord is putting them back into that old Soviet war ready, mentality. You know, it's just a lot of those other countries that broke off from Russia and ended up somewhat disassociating themselves from the USSR and actually getting political ties, with the Western world and with other European countries outside of their, natural alliance or allies. You see, but this is the time that we living in, man. Vladimir Putin, these other China, Iran, these different nations are getting ready for that battle. That big battle is the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, what's the word Jehoshaphat? Is Yahweh Shaphat, which is the Most High judgment. Ezekiel 38th chapter, Ezekiel 38:2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back. What does that mean when I will turn thee back? The Lord is speaking. When you go into the Gog and Magog, Meshach and Tubal, all of that is in that Russian region. All right. Even the scriptures speak about, of course, Togama. But these different nations, which are very important nations that's going to partake in this Third World War, are going to all assimilate, and they're going to have one duty in mind, and that's taking America down. Because the scriptures speak about that even thy mother shall be confounded. So even these different nations that, are in allegiance with America, that are, have been siding with America for decades, which Britain, is basically America came up out of Great Britain. All right, but the scriptures speak about, thy mother. Mother shall be confounded, and basically your mother is going to turn on you. So America that hoarded sitteth upon many nations, and see they sat upon many nations and subjected many nations throughout their philosophies, which is known as the wine, their way of living, their style, and their cultures of life, which has basically eradicated the living standard of all these different nations. And see, they want to go to Iran, they want to go through these different nations, and they really just want to pillage and butcher, all right, and steal them for their resources. All right, set up satellite states, set up that, a dystopian reality. And we've seen pictures of Libya before and after. You look in these different nations that America went to before and after. Before it's a somewhat paradise. I wouldn't use the word paradise. Some of those nations are somewhat third world, but they do have a level of sustainability. Like, for instance, Libya wasn't one of the worst countries to live. They had certain things in place. It wasn't the best country to live, of course, but still, they had a full government where they had things functioning and somewhat, and running. They actually even had markets, their financial market, which Muammar Gaddafi was looking to turn Libya, change up the financial standard to being a gold standard, which was making their American competition. That's, of course, we know that we're under the banner of the United States dollar, which is the world reserve currency. That was going to shatter and plunder the actual financial standard here in America. You see, so what did they do? They set up propaganda. They found ways to get within that land. They crushed it. It's the word, I think, dissimulated it. And now America still has the ability to roam free as a like Esau is known as a fugitive and a vagabond. You know, so America gets to roam free without actually getting charges brought upon them. You know, but guess what? Esau being ignorant of the heavens, the Lord, as it is written in Proverbs 15:3, the angels are beholding the evil and the good. They're looking at everything that this devil has, in the plots and in the works. Because what? Really, the Most High is giving these plans anyways. Isaiah 45:7. All right, the Lord creates the good and the evil. But the Lord is creating a lot of animosity, and he's stirring the pot so that these different nations learn not to trust each other, and see clearly who the enemy is, which all nations are starting to see, that America as well as the land of Iran are two of the worst nations on the face of the earth. All right, they have the same skill sets of wickedness, that they pushed, like I said, upon the premise of the earth. And then they like to play the blame game and paint themselves as the best candidate. The word candidate means white, to actually represent and delegate policies upon the face of the earth. But that's why it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine horses and horsemen. What's the modern day horses and horsemen? You have these different tankers. You have these different, tanks. You have these different MRAPs. You have these different vehicles made ready for the battle. All right, military equipment, whether it's aerial, aquatic, or on the ground. So it says, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right. So war is on the horizon. All right. Storm. You had that page. Storm clouds are gathering. Hey, so that's true. You had even the saying that if you can't hear the war drums beating, then you're deaf. The war drums are beating loud and clear, but a lot of people don't watch the news. They don't understand inflation. They don't understand why things are caving in around them. Yeah, because the troops are finna go back to war. It says Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarter and all his bands, and many people with them. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou which is you, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is going to play the big brother. That's why he's known as the bear. There's even certain and I've seen it certain videos on YouTube where you got Russian men, sizey Russian men, actually arm wrestling with damn bears, beating them in an arm wrestle. And I seen that, and I was like, you know what? That's the spirit, because Russia represents that bear, and they're going to be the main nation to take America down, man. So these different Russians, the Most High putting the spirit on them to even do certain things like that, getting in that war-based mentality. Those Russians are warriors, man. And they're ready for it. They live in a colder terrain. They don't have the entertainment that's always over their head of bullshit. Those Russians are ready to take it there, and they're gonna take it there. Because the Lord is gonna put the spirit on them to take it there, as well as these other supreme nations that's in today's time people know as superpowers. All right, such as China. Iran is not necessarily a superpower, but it is a nation that's capable, has those nuclear capabilities. All right, which that's why the scripture says that also in Isaiah the 14th chapter, let the weak say I am strong. Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself, it is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Yeah, America's not finna stand for too much longer, man. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the prophecy. All we have to do is keep prophesying the downfall of America, doing our videos, sending up them prayers as well as those curses, and watch the fall of this thing, man. So I wanted to make this short and sweet, just going to the news. Hopefully brothers are edified. I'm gonna end by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shemel, Shabbat, Shemar Kakwadash, the bonus of the apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom, Akim.